My hair is fucked up, but we're doing this anyway. This is We Told You So, episode 159. First, let's get to the most hypocritical part. MAGA is now giving huge credit to Donald Trump because he orchestrated a ceasefire in Gaza. Oh, look at him doing what Joe Biden could never do. What a great negotiator. The problem is, Joe Biden already did this. During his time in office, Joe Biden got on the phone with Egypt and Qatar, and the three of them came together to formulate a plan for a ceasefire between Netanyahu and Gaza. During that time, Biden and other countries sent humanitarian aid to the Palestinians, while the Palestinians and Netanyahu arranged an exchange of hostages. And so far, that's all that's being done under Trump. They have still not worked out any kind of details about disarmament, as Hamas definitely does not want to give up their weapons, and they can't trust Netanyahu to not storm in there and take them over again. They haven't even guaranteed if the Palestinian Authority will maintain control over Gaza, and they haven't agreed to a timetable on any of this. The only thing that has happened is at least a temporary ceasefire with an exchange of hostages. Yet the tankies on the left still don't give a shit, and they were like, oh, Biden's committing G-side! And the MAGA didn't give two shits when Biden already did this, yet when Trump's doing it, they're claiming he's the second coming of Jesus. Everybody is fucking pathetic. And while all that is happening overseas, Trump is continuing to destroy our country here. Because not only is China's economy expanding, as they are now the #1 country in expanding green energy initiatives, because our dumb coal-burning president decided to ditch all of it, but China also said they're not afraid of a trade war, and Trump's new 100% tariffs on them completely triggered a crash of crypto. Over $18 billion of crypto was liquidated. And this was on top of the fact that the Nasdaq and the S&P saw their steepest declines in 6 months. Bitcoin has lost 10% of its value in just the last 5 days. This is why I laugh at stupid things like Donald Trump attempting to completely devalue our dollar and change everything to crypto, but I also laugh at the 20-year-old Ponce who was working at the dispensary last week who told me he was going to get rich off of crypto, and I was like, sure thing, Chad. Also, I recently mentioned that I believe that Trump is afraid of his generals, because after he and Pete Hegseth had that meeting with all of the top military brass, they sat there in silence and most of them afterwards mocked him to the press. We've had leaders of the National Guards saying that they are not going to deploy their troops unless they're there to protect the peaceful citizens. And Trump knows that without the military on his side, he's not going to be able to complete his fascist authoritarian takeover of the country. So despite his stupid government shutdown that he and the Republicans are causing because they don't want to give healthcare benefits back to people, and Trump just wants to keep firing thousands of federal employees, he finally decided, you know what, I guess we'll actually pay the military. Even though our government is shut down, I'm still gonna pay the military because I don't want them mad at me anymore. Too late, Donnie, they fucking hated you since your first term when you called them all suckers and losers. And I guess it didn't help to put a wife-beating alcoholic Nazi at the head of your Pentagon. And also, this is a good time to remind people that several times during his presidency, Joe Biden said that he was going to be a president for all Americans, whether they were Republican or Democrat. He made sure that whenever some disaster happened or whenever people needed it in the states, he would send them aid no matter what. Meanwhile, Trump is using this government shutdown to specifically target Democratic states and cities, causing them as much harm as he can. Because he believes that those places didn't vote for him, so they're not important. So all of the Republicans who did vote for him in those cities can go fuck themselves, I guess. Meanwhile, he and the Republicans continue to push bullshit lies about Portland like it's worse than Bosnia in the 90s, claiming it's some kind of war zone or a hellscape full of crime when it's literally people protesting by dancing in animal outfits. With just like in Washington, D.C., the federal agents keep cornering and surrounding peaceful protesters, shooting them with pepper balls from rooftops. And all because he says he's going to do away with, quote, left-wing extremist violence, which is not fucking happening. Because of course, when you take the handful of left-wing violence over the last 10 years, and you compare it to the literally hundreds of cases of right-wingers, Trumpers, MAGA, white supremacists like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and the January 6 insurrectionists, not to mention all of the MAGA who shot up bars, shot up schools, shot up FBI offices, threatened FBI agents, threatened judges, shot and killed Democratic lawmakers or attacked lawmakers' staff with baseball bats, sent bombs to Democratic members of Congress, and constantly are screaming that they want a civil war every other Tuesday. I mean, obviously the two sides are exactly the same, right? This has been We Told You So. Fuck these people.